Every 4 years, the entire planet stops. Billions of people crowd around screens in living rooms, bars, stadiums, and street corners, watching 22 players chase a single ball. If you've never watched the FIFA World Cup before, the scale of it can feel genuinely overwhelming. More than 200 countries enter the qualifying process. Dozens get eliminated before the tournament even begins. The ones who survive travel to a host nation and compete for a trophy that, to most of the world, means more than almost anything else in sport. No other event comes close in terms of raw global audience. The 2022 final alone drew around 1.5 billion viewers. That's roughly 1 in 5 people on Earth, all watching the same match. So what exactly is it? The FIFA World Cup is the top international men's football competition on the planet, organized by FIFA and held once every 4 years. It isn't a club tournament. No Manchester City, no Real Madrid, no Barcelona. Instead, entire countries send their best players together as a single national team to represent where they're from. A player might compete against his club teammate, or even his club manager's home country. That national dimension is a big part of why the stakes feel different. You're not just watching athletes perform, you're watching people carry a nation's identity onto the pitch. The tournament dates back to 1930, when FIFA President Jules Rimet organized the first edition in Uruguay with 13 invited teams. It was small, experimental, and almost entirely unrecognized at the time outside South America and Europe. The competition has expanded dramatically since then. For the 2026 edition, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the field grows to 48 teams for the first time ever. That's up from the 32-team format that ran for the previous 7 tournaments. More nations, more matches, more paths to glory, and more opportunities for first-time viewers to find a team worth following. Before any of that happens, though, those 48 teams have to get there, too. The qualifying process runs for nearly 2 years leading up to the tournament, involving over 200 national teams competing in their respective continental zones. Europe, South America, Africa, Asia, North and Central America, and Oceania all run their own qualifying competitions, each allocated a set number of spots in the final tournament. Some of those spots are more competitive than others. South America produces some of the world's best football, but the continent only has a handful of guaranteed spots, meaning world-class teams can still miss out entirely. Qualifying is brutal, unpredictable, and sometimes more dramatic than the tournament itself. Once the 48 teams arrive, the competition opens with a group stage. Teams are split into 12 groups of 4, and every team plays the other 3 in their group once. Win a match, and you get 3 points. Draw, and you get 1. Lose, and you get nothing. The top 2 teams from each group advance automatically. On top of that, the 8 best third-place finishers across all 12 groups also move through. That brings 32 teams into the knockout rounds. It's a useful safety net for strong teams that have a difficult group or a slow start. But it also adds complexity that first-timers sometimes find confusing, especially when the standings involve tied records. When teams finish level on points, the tiebreaker process goes deep. Goal difference comes first, then total goals scored, then head-to-head results, and eventually it reaches something called fair play points, which counts disciplinary records. At the 2018 World Cup, Japan advanced over Senegal on exactly that basis. Both teams had 4 points, identical goal difference, identical goals scored, and an identical head-to-head result. Japan had collected fewer yellow cards across the group stage. That was the deciding factor. An entire nation's World Cup survival came down to how many times their players got booked. So when a commentator mentions yellow cards late in a group stage match, that's why. After the group stage ends, the tournament becomes a straight knockout. Round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final. Lose once and you're going home. Every match from that point plays 90 minutes of regular time. If the score is level after 90 minutes, the teams play 2 additional 15-minute halves. If it's still tied after extra time, the match goes to penalties. 5 kicks each, alternating, and if both teams convert all 5, It continues sudden death until one team misses and the other scores in the same round. Penalty shootouts have ended the World Cup dreams of some of the greatest teams ever assembled. They're equal parts skill and nerve, and they've produced some of the most memorable images the sport has ever seen. The 2026 tournament runs from June 11th through July 19th across 16 host cities, 11 in the United States, 3 in Mexico, and 2 in Canada. It's the first World Cup ever hosted by 3 countries simultaneously. The expanded format means 104 total matches over 39 days, up from 64 matches in previous editions. Teams that reach the final will play 8 matches to get there, 1 more than before. For viewers, that means a longer window of consistent competition. The group stage alone runs for several weeks before knockout rounds begin, giving new fans time to understand the format, find favorite teams, and build genuine investment in outcomes before the highest stakes matches arrive. The commercial scale of the tournament helps explain why coverage is everywhere. FIFA forecasts around $13 billion in revenue from the 2026 edition, with sponsorship income expected to surpass $2.8 billion, more than double what Qatar 2022 generated. An estimated $60 billion will be wagered on the tournament at regulated sportsbooks globally. Watch parties are being planned by roughly 3/4 of surveyed viewers in the United States and Canada. None of that changes what happens on the pitch, but it does explain the sheer volume of attention the World Cup commands from broadcasters, brands, and media outlets for the entire duration of the competition.